Good morning, Zio here, and today we're talking Xbox. Not just anything in Xbox, we're talking about cloud native games. So grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? Apparently, Portal and Left 4 Dead's developer Ken Swift is leading this new organization over at Xbox and Microsoft, where they are working on cloud native games. What exactly does that mean? That is an interesting concept, I'm not going to lie. And I have no idea who Ken Swift is. But this article, of course, makes it apparent to, make sure we know who she is, right? I really don't care. Like, it's nothing personal. I just don't care about that sort of thing. Anyway, for the most part, most names in gaming I just don't care about outside of maybe Kojima and a few others. I don't care about them. Anyway, you do your job. If you do a good one, I'll praise it. If not, then so be it. But anyway, Swift has explained that this division mandate is to partner with world-class game development teams to develop cloud-native gaming to bring unprecedented experience to players that can only be achieved with cloud technologies. Now, apparently cloud-native is being used in the sense, right now, I guess, in the sense of a virtual machine, right? This is what the GeForce thing was doing. It's what Google Stadia does. One of the PlayStation things does it, where you don't actually have to locally download the game. You just play it and it's being ran on a server somewhere, right? I don't really think that we can just... I don't know if we can really do this without a server present. I don't know if the technology is really there, to be totally honest. I guess it's the best way to put it. To actually put something like, for instance, what's current? Crud. My mind's running a blank. It's one thing if you can put, say, Chrono Trigger on the cloud and then play it without actually downloading it, because it's a small file, right? And actually the processing and stuff for it doesn't need much. Whether or not the cloud can actually supplement that is a completely different thing, because the cloud is, well, it's nothing, right? There's nothing there. It's not hardware. Right? That's the that's where the technical things come in. But if you want to run, say, Skyrim from the cloud, that might be a different story. Yes, you can run Skyrim by using a virtual machine while it's localized somewhere else. So if I put it on my computer here, which it is, and I went with the Steam Dock, whatever it was called, the Steam Doggle thingy, and plugged it into my TV in the living room and picked up the Steam controller and turned on my computer and then started playing Skyrim, utilizing the internets to connect to my computer, which is now running the game, essentially the hardware portion. I can do that. That's a thing. But actually just, uploading Skyrim to the internets, not having my computer on, and then trying to play it, feels like it's a whole different beast, right? Like that stuff still has to be stored somewhere out there and ran. So that it's a weird technical thing. Maybe we have reached that point and I just don't realize it because I'm like 5 years behind the times or something, for all I know, which is also possible. But anyway, the concept of cloud native games differs somewhat from simply streaming games to players' displays using something like Game Pass or PlayStation Now. Instead, cloud-native gaming uses the cloud to process certain parts of the game, such as physics, lighting, environment, or AI. This has a number of potentials, such as freeing up processing power on home consoles and making sure the player joins an online world can all get the same synchronized experience. And yeah, Yeah, okay, so I take it back. They've been doing it because one of the things I thought was pretty cool was this here. I didn't realize that this was being handled purely on the cloud and not by like some kind of server process or the system itself. All this destruction of the buildings and things, it's apparently being purely powered by the cloud. It's doing all that stuff, causing all those things to fall in the pattern and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. So the cloud itself is somehow handling the processes. And yeah, it's a bit technical, out of my expertise now. Thanks. Anyway, I should educate myself on how it works and learn. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And this is Crackdown 3. It's been around for a hot second. So I did not realize that that was what was going on with that mode. But yeah, I take back what I said then. But anyway, according to Swift, there's apparently like three separate categories of the future of cloud gaming, right? And you've got one which is ubiquity. Yeah, I forget it. I can't say that. The ability to stream a game on any device, even though that wouldn't be powerful enough to run them natively, is the low-hanging fruit for cloud content. Essentially, this is a virtual machine. That's exactly what a virtual machine does, right? You VM from your TV or something, and it's being run locally elsewhere, right? That's what that definition really sounds like to me. Anyway, and that's what we're currently doing, right? With things with like Stadia, for instance. Anyway, Cloud AI, meanwhile, will advance what developers can do by using technology like machine learning, natural language processing, and reinforcement learning. While this could lend benefits for players in the shape of things like more convincing NPCs, it could also lead to useful tools development such as the ability to create QA bots, which can use machine learning to test games on huge scales. Toxicity detection and filters. I'm not sure about that. I don't know how I feel about that at all, because what one person finds toxic is not exactly always toxic. Anyway, we've talked about that in the past. Your machine learning to improve games that have procedurally generated features. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, finally, runtime calculations could be used to increase horsepower at runtime, leading to performance, graphics rendering, AI agents, randomizations for crowd scenes, for example, destruction effects, or as Swift puts it, all the things. So yeah, those are apparently now the three stages of cloud gaming. We are currently, of course, in the first one, which is this first one up here. And then you've got, Cloud AI, and then we'll have this third one here where all the things are put to the test for cloud gaming. But yeah, Microsoft is powering through this. They're going ahead with this, which is fine. This idea of you own nothing and you'll be happy, I really hate it, because I love physical copies of things, but at the same time, it's hard to acquire certain things physically, and several things just aren't available physically anymore as well. So I understand all that stuff, but also at the same time, a lot of things that keep people from playing certain games is, well, their system can't handle it, right? And that's more of a bigger problem on the PC side of things, but also at the same time, there are things that are ported to the PC that are held back because of the console, and Final Fantasy XIV is a prime example of that. When it was on the PS3, there were things they could not do because the PS3 was incapable of doing that, right? But when they finally decided to end support for the PS3 and move it to just the PS4 at the time and the PC, suddenly that allowed them to do a wealth of things they never could before. And the players benefited from that now that it was no longer tethered to PS3. The downside was, of course, you had to get a PS4 and get another copy. But yeah, with cloud gaming, and if you make things native to the cloud, then that means it doesn't matter what system you have, or if you have a system at all at that point. In my opinion, that's where we are going, so you could still have access to play Elder Scrolls 17, even though you don't have a PS12. And I think that would be kind of cool. You know, if we could get into that future where you don't have to have the hardware to play the game, that would be cool. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya!
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.